Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Sorry I've been on a little hiatus, but I bought a house, been working on that lately, and I've gotten a bunch of new stuff obviously, but as you can see, put new floors in my house and all kinds of stuff, man, all kinds. Got drywall going on in there, gutted this whole place, new insulation, new vapor barrier, all kinds of fun stuff. But reason why we're here today is these right here. We have the JBL Partybox 320, and we have the ON large party speaker Gen2 ×2. Now, I ordered the ONs. I got these on sale for $70 a piece, which is a phenomenal deal. And if you can get them for 70 bucks a piece, I mean, you can't go wrong. Nor will you find anything that will come close. It's just a phenomenal deal. You know, the JBL, I got that on sale as well for $450 as opposed to $550. And that was also a good deal. You know, looking at them side by side, you can definitely tell the differences in quality. It's quite apparent, as you should be able to. You know, in my personal opinion, I actually do like the JBL better than the two ONs. The two ONs do not beat the single JBL 320 in anything, in sound quality, bass quality, the impact of the bass, none of it. You know, just none of it. I do like the JBL. It has a removable battery, which is pretty awesome. One thing I like about the ON though, is they have a built-in AM/FM tuner for the radio, which is pretty sweet. Excuse me. That will come in handy for obviously many things. Go to a drive-in, etc., etc. You know, you don't have to kill your car battery. I don't know how many people go to drive-ins nowadays, but I do myself, and drive-ins are still a thing, so there's that. But aside from that, you know, you can look at the top, and even just looking at the quality, you know, of the JBL, and rightfully so, obviously. The JBL isn't cheap at all, by any means. Everybody knows that. But, you know, it's the old adage, you get what you pay for. You know, and you pay a lot, so you get a lot. The handle on the JBL is much nicer. It locks in many, many different positions. Like, you can put this thing anywhere you want. No problem. I do like the fact that it's two-tone. I obviously have a white unit, which I preferred the white over the black. The ONs only come in black, which is totally fine, not a big deal. But I actually have these two obviously linked together currently. As you can see, this is the left, this is the right. I'm not going to go over all these buttons. Not going to go over all these buttons. Everybody's already done that a million times. Not going to go over the backs of them. There's many other videos out there. You can go look into that if you want to. And also, let's be sure that, oh yeah, I didn't plug these back in since I moved them. So we're gonna make this a fair comparison for everybody to see. So, not a big deal. Of course, I thought these were plugged in already, but they weren't. There, now everybody's plugged in, good to go. Now, this is no EQ as well. There's no EQ whatsoever. But we'll go with the, I have a royalty-free music, a song called Royalty. And I believe currently it's going to be the ONs. You'll notice right away. Yeah, it's the ONs currently. And I have it about 60% volume. I'm roughly about 6 feet away on my couch. Okay, that's enough of that one. Let's switch it over to the JBL now. Just bear with me here.
Bluetooth pairing.
And these are the same volume on my phone. No difference. I'm playing a YouTube video. Okay, let me pause the JBL real quick. We'll do a back-to-back with the ons here. Same song, same spot, same everything. Just to carry over. Oh, of course it doesn't want to connect now. Let's be a jerk.
Bluetooth connected.
As you can tell, obviously the JBL sounds a lot better. And they're all at the same volume on my phone, so obviously there's volume attenuation that's different between them, but you kind of get an idea of what you're getting there. But I will say the JBL, obviously, as you can tell, sounds a lot cleaner. The bass is a lot cleaner, hits harder. It just sounds leaps and bounds better than the ons. And I mean, that's obviously to be expected for what you're paying for the ons, $70 a piece. I mean, you can't complain about that. And $140 for two of those, I mean, good luck beating that. Like when it comes to the value, the on is just incredible and insane. And for what you're paying and what you're getting in return is quite a phenomenal deal, man. Like the ons are just crazy good, for what you're paying. It's nuts. It's literally nuts. But I have another song here that I'm going to play real quick, just a couple seconds of it. And I'm going to crank them to 100% so you can hear them at 100%. I apologize that this video is carrying on a little bit.
You can make predictions on anything,
but
right from
of course,
your hand.
Sounds great.
We got a stupid commercial. Gotta love YouTube and their stupid commercials. But this is the on. I'm going to 100% now. Okay, that was the on at max volume. Now we're gonna switch over to the JBL real quick, max volume, and go from there. See how it goes. Max volume now. We'll go back to the ons one more time, and we'll call it after that.
Bluetooth connected.
We'll go back to the JBL one more time.
Bluetooth pairing.
Okay, as you can tell, the JBL is definitely a better speaker overall, and rightfully so. It costs what it costs, you know, but I was curious how one 320 would do against two of the ons, and the one 320 indeed beats the two ons. You know, I thought it was going to be close, but it's not, you know, and obviously you got to take into perspective, this is a video recording, you know, it's being recorded through a microphone, it's on YouTube, etc., so you can't really get the sense of actually being here and hearing the differences, you know, but like I said, that's a lot cleaner, clear, crisper highs. Same thing with the bass. The bass is a lot cleaner, clear, crisper. It has more of an impact, a harder impact, you know, it's just nice, clean bass, you know, where these, they're good for what they are, you know. I mean, like I said, for 140 bucks, totally worth it and absolutely unbeatable. Nobody even comes close. I mean, the fact that you can even get something like that for 70 bucks a piece is quite incredible, and kudos to On and Wally World for doing that. You know, quite impressive, to be 100% honest. You know, but I would say if you're in the market, you know, depends on what you want to spend, and go from there. If you buy the ons, you're definitely going to be happy with them. You can easily jam out. You know, you buy two, pair them together, take them with you wherever you go, etc. You know, same with the JBL. I mean, the JBL is actually worth it. You know, I wasn't so sure it was going to win. To be 100% honest, I didn't think it was gonna, but it totally impressed me. I'll tell you that much. But I'm actually now going to get another JBL because I obviously have to, just to see how two of those do together, which I'm sure it's absolutely ridiculous. You know, absolutely just ridiculous. But you know, either way, if you're budget conscious, you know what I mean, and you want to be able to jam out, by all means get the ons. You know, if you got a little bit extra cash and you want higher quality and a swappable battery, I would say go with the JBL all day. It's an all-around better speaker, hands down. Build quality, everything's better, and as it should be, especially for what you're paying. You know, even at $450, It's still expensive. I'm not saying that's cheap at all. It's a lot of money, you know, but comparatively, $450 really isn't too bad. I mean, if you look into like those Sonos Move 2s, those are $499, and I highly doubt they would beat any of these in raw output because of what they are. Do they sound clean and clear? Well, sure. $500 though, that's a bit overpriced in my opinion. That's a huge ask for that little thing that you're getting. I'd rather have the JBL by far over that, but you know, that's just me. I have other stuff as well, you know, but I wanted a portable speaker, so that way, you know, I could take it with me, etc., etc. You know, I have these here that I built. These are 218s. You know, I built the boxes, but these are ridiculous. I have Polk towers, the new Reserve series. But as I mentioned, I just bought my house not long ago and moved in, so none of that stuff's hooked up yet. But aside from that, you know, you can't go wrong either way. You know, but believe it or not, the JBL is definitely better than the 2-ons, shockingly enough. I think the next video I'll do, if anybody's interested, I'll take these all outside and play them off power and go from there. That's the other thing too, real quick before I go. You know, people say, oh, they get louder when you plug them in. You know, but I noticed when I got the ons and I tried it without power, the difference in volume really was not that noticeable at all. You know, you're not really going to notice it. It's very subtle, surprisingly enough, to the ear anyway. You know, I didn't test it with any meters or none of that stuff. You know, I tested with my ears like any normal person would. And it was not that big of a deal. Sitting directly in front of it, unplugging it and plugging it back in, if I closed my eyes and had somebody else do it, I would not be able to tell when it was unplugged and when it wasn't. So, you know, just a little food for thought, I suppose. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. In case anybody was in the market for these, which I'm sure quite a few are, especially after the sale that Walmart just had on these ons. I know they're back up to $109 now, which is still a great deal. I'd still buy 2 of them for $109 all day long, without question. But till next time, everybody take care. Thanks for stopping by the channel and checking out the video. See you on the next one.